Invest in U.S. Stocks by www.profitableinvestingtips.com. Is now the time to invest in U.S. stocks? The old saying, credited to Baron Rothschild in the 19th century, is, "The time to buy stocks is when there's blood in the streets." The saying can apply to war and the shedding of blood, but usually applies to difficult financial, social, and economic conditions. Right now, with Congress haggling over a short-term agreement to extend the ability of the U.S. government to borrow, it could feel like blood in the streets for many investors. Contrast this view of things with the fact that a large percentage of S&P 500 stocks came in with earnings estimates higher than expected for the second quarter of 2011. The dollar could fall in value, but U.S. stocks seem to be making money. What happens if the dollar falls and U.S. multinationals bring part or all of their manufacturing operations back to North America, specifically back to the USA? Now that things, in some ways, seem to be at their worst, it may be the best time to invest in U.S. stocks. We wrote recently about investing in U.S. automakers as GM has come back from the dead and Japan's production is hamstrung by the after effects of the worst earthquake and tsunami in the nation's history. Some Japanese stocks are falling on the thread of a rise in value of the yen, making Japanese products less cost competitive. If the investor chooses to invest in U.S. stocks when there is economic and fiscal uncertainty, he is going against the tide. He is, to a degree, a contrarian investor. However, the most successful U.S. investor ever, Warren Buffett, has said, "That investor always pays a premium for buying stocks that everyone feels good about." Successful long-term investing depends upon three things. The first is picking stocks with intrinsic value, namely high forward-looking earnings potential. Second, a stock should have a margin of safety in the form of cash reserves or unencumbered hard assets such as real estate or manufacturing plants. Third, an investor will profit the most if he buys such stocks when their prices are low and not when the market has discounted all future earnings and margin of safety by bidding price of the stock up sky high. If one wishes to invest in U.S. stocks, the best stocks to invest in are those with the best potential and solid assets that have not been identified by the market in general. This is where many successful have made their millions and even billions. Fundamental analysis is the basis of long-term investing. An investor will need to do his homework in picking the most promising stocks. However, when U.S. stocks are making money, it just might be that now is a good time to invest in U.S. stocks. When we are at the depths of another Capitol Hill soap opera, it may well be time to look beyond to what U.S. industry could do in a less debt-ridden economy. As always, we are not suggesting any specific investment in U.S. stocks or suggesting that one not invest in U.S. stocks. Rather, we suggest that investors look for opportunities in all investing environments. For more insights and useful information regarding investments and investing, visit www.profitableinvestingtips.com.